Hello everyone, it's Canadian Futures Trader here. It is currently Saturday, April the 10th, 2021. Welcome everyone to the video. Welcome to the channel. If this is my first video of yours you are seeing, thanks for watching. In today's video, what I'm basically going to be doing is something that people often ask because they actually want to see trades of mine. So I haven't recorded a ton of trades when I'm actually trading in the various evaluations. I finally figured out a nice balance between resolution and being able to record. So what I did was I recorded about 6 trades on Friday that I can go through and kind of explain, why I entered, why I set my stop loss, what my approach was to, either taking a loss or taking profit, etc. So we're going to go through those. I put timestamps down below if you want to skip. I'm going to go through the bond trades first, and then I'll get to the NQ trades. The products are 100% kind of polar opposites. Bonds are very slow, NQ is very fast moving. Definitely different approaches to each of them that I take. So with that said, let's get to the first trade. Okay guys, so I'm going to pause this really quick before we get started. So just to explain what we're looking at, again, it's my bond setup. So I have Ultra Bond on the right, 30-year in the middle, 10-year on the left. I already in this trade when I start the video, but I had just entered the trade. You see right here, I am short at the 30 mark. You can see the P&L here, and I'm short 3 contracts. You see that down here. And again, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the intro or not, but this is on my demo account. It's not real money. I'm not trying to pretend these were all live trades and big wins. I'm not about that. This is purely just to explain kind of the thought process behind how I take trades. And these are traded the exact same way I would trade in a LeeLoo account or my own personal account. I don't change how I trade based on what I'm up to. So just wanted to make sure that was clear. Now, let this play. Now, this is a very short trade, honestly. So I'm short 3 contracts here. You can see the P&L here. So why I'm short? Part of the reason why I entered this trade was of seeing a big imbalance here on the 10 years. You've got a lot more sellers. You've got almost 5,000 sellers here to 2,000 buyers. I'm really expecting this to tick down, and when it ticks down, usually the 30-year, the Ultra Bond move lockstep. So I've set a take profit here at 2 ticks. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for just a quick scalp. That's all I want out of this. So the nice thing with the bonds is, you trade 3 lots. Every tick is $93.75. Let's call it $90 after commission. So every tick is $90 at 3 lots. So I get 2 ticks. It's $180 in profit, roughly. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to pause this for a second before the trade ends. So a few things I'm looking at. Again, I'm looking at the 10-year. What's funny is I'll trade the 30-year, but I'm almost watching the 10-year to decide what to do. You're still seeing the pressure down here. You're seeing a lot of sellers. You're seeing sellers being added on. That's what this column is. On the flip side, on the buy side, the buyers are thinning out and they're pulling their bids. So these are people pulling their bids. They're not only pulling their bids at the current price, they're pulling them below it as well. So sellers are piling on, buyers are disappearing. It's kind of a recipe for the price moving down. So that's what you're seeing now. Exact same story right here. Like I said, they tend to move pretty well. You see the buyers are piling on. You're seeing flip that. You're seeing the sellers pile on. You're seeing the buyers start to disappear here. They're pulling their orders. So expecting this pop down. Again, I'm just trying to grab 2 ticks. It's already trading at this price. Again, this is paused right now because it's going to execute fairly quickly here. There's currently 330 buyers with limit orders, and I'm 331 in the queue. So I'm at the back of the queue. So I'm going to be one of the last people filled. Even though this is sim, it'll treat it as if it was real. So I'm one of the last people that will get filled. So I'm going to let this play, but what you're going to see happen is just a ton of sellers come in and just pound this, and it gets executed and filled in no time. So I'll let this play. All right, maybe a few more seconds than I anticipated, but don't worry, it's happening soon. The video's almost over, so I know it gets out here pretty quickly. Now, right now, before this happens, I know in retrospect, I'm just kind of sitting and waiting. The nice thing is buyers aren't pushing this up, so right now we're just kind of stagnant. I just saw some sellers hit here. Okay, so I'm going to pause that. I mean, it all kind of happened simultaneously. 700 contracts sold right here, like wiped this level out and ticked it down. Immediately you had buyers pop in. A lot of this is algo trading. That's why things can happen quickly. Like one thing triggers another thing, triggers another thing. But we got cleared out. See, we're no longer in a position. And there you go. And you saw the same thing happen over here. I mean, 1,900 contracts hit this, and immediately 2,200 buyers popped in as well and hit this. So, and on the ultra bonds. So, very correlated. Nonetheless, so that's a little two-tick winner. That's, I mean, honestly, again, I've said it time and again, with the bonds, that's all I'm looking for, 2-3 ticks. So, rather than get greedy, kind of like I did with my, if you watch my LeeLoo video, day 2 from Friday, it's almost a similar situation, except in that case, I was greedy. I was waiting. I was hoping, oh, come on, maybe we can get a few more ticks. And I didn't. In the end, it ended up moving back on me. So that's why sometimes it's better just to take the guaranteed win and move on to the next trade. So that is trade number 1. Oh, okay, guys. So in trades number 2 and 3 are both on this screen. So what's going to happen, I'm not in any trade yet. You have the 30-year bond in the middle, you have the ultra bond on the right. I'm going to enter a long position on the 30-year here in a sec. It looks like I'm just kind of deciding if I want to take a market order or a limit order. All right, and you see that I entered for 3 lots. So again, I've been watching, what you don't see, I guess, in this part of the video is I've been watching the order flow, and it's just kind of been ebbing and flowing kind of in this area. So really, sometimes, I mean, by no means am I saying trading is easy. It is not. But sometimes there's money to be made when there's not much happening. Just try to capitalize off the little ticks back and forth. So at this point, I'm long at the 29 price. I'm long 3 contracts. See that down here. So this is my kind of trade box for the 30-year. This is my trade box for the ultra bond. I just went long on the ultra bond, so now we're in trades on both of these. So I've set a 2-tick take profit and a 2-tick take profit. Now again, I'm just seeing upward pressure. I'm seeing a lot of, so on the ultra bond, so the ultra bond actually will end before the 30-year bond moves. Again, seeing the similar ebb and flow. I'm not too worried. It hasn't really been spiking around, so I don't have a stop loss, which I always advocate for. Honestly, I should every trade, so I give myself an F for that. Just in case, you never know. Somebody comes in and slaps 500 lots, they just whack this. Okay, so we're going to see the ultra bond here resolve itself in a second. Again, these orders could get pulled in a heartbeat, and you're going to see this. You see my Q position jump to 28 because a few contracts traded there. 27. As well, people are pulling orders that were maybe ahead of me. I'm already now at 22. 20, and there you go, filled. So we got a 2-tick winner on that trade. Now on the 30-year here, let's see what happens. So again, now you're seeing this one push up. So this is currently 1 tick in the good. I could take 1 tick winner here. I mean, if I got filled. I kind of waited out. Now let's, okay guys, so at this point, I'm starting to give up on this a little bit. It's not really pushing through. We're starting to see some push down. I just moved my take profit down a tick, hoping we get pushed up. But at this point, I'm really considering just getting out of this trade, either for the 1-tick loss or the flat. I mean, that's just sometimes how you have to do it. I'm also very aware we just made 2 ticks on the ultra bonds. So if I get nothing out of this trade, no harm, no foul. And regardless of whether I had a winner or loser over here, I shouldn't necessarily be trading this any different. So at this point, I'm going to pause this. I have my take profit set at 1 tick. I'm hoping it'll just pop up into here. Now it's here, but no lots have traded at this price yet. And I'm pretty far back in the queue. I'm at 537 and there's 565 here. So it's going to have to really clear this out. So I'm also considering just getting out, because right now I could go flat and I'll get basically a market order here and I'll just be out. No loss other than whatever the commissions are. And not to spoil it for anyone, I know you're sitting on the edge of your seats, but I do end up just hitting the flat button and getting out of this trade for no profit. So, but that's okay. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Okay, so the moment has come where you're going to see my arrow come down here. It's going to hover over this flat button right here. Flat just gets you out of every position, and here we go in a second. And I hit flat there. So basically I got out for break even. It would have been a market order there. Now I actually let this record for a few more minutes. I'm not going to make you suffer and watch through them just to see what happened. See, was I right? Was I wrong? Doesn't really matter. I'm out of the trade. And I'm not going to torture you with watching this, but you can see here, it just pops down. So that was the right decision to just get out. It was not moving in my direction anymore. Just, cut bait, get out of the trade, live to trade another day. So that are trades 2 and 3. Okay, guys, so now moving on to NQ. This trade happens fairly quick, and this is actually a loser. I want to start off with the loser, and then we'll finish up with two winners. So it's, again, the context is kind of lost in this because you don't see what's been happening up to this point other than like what's right here. So it kind of rallied up. It had bounced off of this a few times. So it'd come down, bounced, it had done it back here. It went up, it bounced, so I was fully expecting it to bounce again. So that's why I went long. I'm just going to pause this before the trade's over, before I even explain why I was in it. So basically I was going long. I'm not looking for necessarily, I want somewhat of a precise entry, but I just want into this trade. At this point, it's come down. I'm expecting another bounce up, and it could be an easy, quick $100 winner. That's what I'm hoping for. But at the same time, if it pounds through this level, it's probably going to continue down. So I set, looks like $110 stop loss here. And just before I let it trade, I already mentioned it's a loser. It's going to obviously spike down here and take me out. That's kind of my overall strategy with NQ. I'm setting relatively tight stops, but with a bit of reasoning. Like I wouldn't just randomly enter this trade and set a 10-tick stop and call it good. Like the reason was it had bounced off of kind of this price level several times. So I knew if it was going through, it was probably going through more than a tick or two. So I just want out at that point. So I'm more than happy to take like $110 loss when I know that when things go well, you can easily make much more than that. So, and you'll see that in the next few trades. So I'll let this play, but you're basically going to see this pop down and just take it out. And that's okay. I don't ever... Once the stop is in, I'm not micromanaging it. It's the only way I'm managing it is if I'm moving it up to lock in profit or whatnot. But I'm never micromanaging this like, oh, I'll give it another 4 or 5 ticks. Like, no, it's there for a reason. Let it transpire. So right now I'm thinking, all right, cool. It bounced off of there. Here we go. Nope. Unfortunately, I was incorrect, and you just saw how quickly that spiked down and took that out. So that is basically that trade, guys. So now let's get to some more of the fun ones. Okay, guys, so this is one where I'm looking to go long. At this point, it had been kind of just rallying up again. I'm not looking at necessarily any charts. I'm just watching this. I'm seeing the ebb and flow. Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Fully expecting it to kind of go up, get a little bit higher here. I go long. Again, we're long 2 contracts. My 12-tick stop loss. I'm basically hiding behind some of these big orders here. The more dense the white here, the thicker the order book is at that level. So at this point, we're in the profit area, obviously. So now, immediately, so let me just pause this for a sec. So it kind of goes in phases, right? One is looking for, like, where do I want to enter? Why do I want to enter? Well, I want to enter this trade because it has been trending up. It's been ebbing and flowing. Hey, it's on one of those little downs. Let's enter here. If it spikes down, so be it. We take the 10, 11 tick loss. But if we're right, it's going to swing right back up, which it has, and good chance it's going to continue up. So, you can see this. We are already 12 ticks, like $120 in the good, off of a 2 lot. That's the other thing I wanted to point out is that with these trader evaluations, when you're in them, don't feel like you have to trade the full clip. Like, can you imagine if I was in this for 12 contracts with, say, a LeeLoo, these swings would be insane. So it'd be 6 times this amount. So we'd already be up, we'd be approaching like $1,000 winners. So, if you want to gamble like that, go for it. But just know that if that goes against you, you're going to get stopped out pretty damn quick. So trade a 2 lot with NQ is my general rule. Going back to my general strategy, 1, looking for an entry and a reason for entry. I got myself that. 2, if it comes down, hits my stop, I'm out. But if it starts going my way, now I'm immediately thinking about, okay, let's lock in some profit or at least break myself even. That's what I'm doing here. You also have to kind of be aware of these swings. Like this moves 10 ticks and with no effort. So you can't set like a 2-tick stop loss like you can with the bonds and expect not to be taken out. So you kind of have, and that's when I do use trailing orders. I'm not in this particular trade. I give it 10 ticks of leeway essentially. So anyways, at this point I'm managing my stop. So my first move is to get myself to where, I'll basically break even or maybe make a tick or two if it was to spike down. And then the third kind of stage will be, let's try to like capitalize on this move and get as much out of it as possible. So let's see what happens. So at this point I have my stop set at $30 or 3 ticks. I was fully expecting to get stopped out there. I got lucky, it did not come down. And it starts moving up. So what you're going to see me do now, and so this is not a trailing stop. I'm manually moving the stop each time and I'm just recentering the DOM. So right here, I'm at 80 in profit. Again, I don't want to move my stop till there's a good, probably 10-ish ticks between the price and where my stop is. I'm just kind of incrementally climbing up, and there we get a nice spike up. So I'm kind of like stair-stepping it up. I'm hiding behind that 33 that was there. Now we're starting to get another spike. I'm at 220 in profit, locked in. And I think this is where I get taken out. Oh, maybe not. I honestly don't quite remember where I get taken out on this trade. I probably move this up again. Nope, okay, a little bit. In retrospect, I probably would have jumped this up here. Like, let's just lock in $300. Oh, okay, well, there you go. I moved it up. So now, I mean, it's pushing 400. We've got 310 locked in. I'm basically on this train ride. I mean, that's all it is I'm jumping on the moving train. The train's moving the right direction. Let's keep going with it until the ride is over. Okay, guys, and the train ride just came to an end there. I'm going to pause the video because it ends kind of abruptly here. But, so, if you were really keen, you could, recognize this and say, hey, it looks like the ride is over. Let's try to get out up here. Maybe you go flat. Myself, I'm not trying to be, that precise. Hey, we made, I honestly didn't remember what it was, 300 and something. Terrific. Like, that to me was a good trade. We managed our stop pretty well. We kept enough distance to give it time to run, but also we did give up. We didn't have our stop way down here where we would have given up, 150 in potential profit. We really only gave up, looks like maybe 6-7 ticks, so maybe $70 that we could have had. But I mean, unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball either. I don't know when the exact high is. It might have dipped down here and continued back up. You don't know. So, but anyways, that is how I managed that trade. So let's look at one last NQ trade. Okay, guys, so this is a pretty quick one. I think it's like a $200 winner. Not to spoil it. It happens really quick. This video is only a minute long. So before we get into it, similar kind of reasoning as to the last trade. I mean, it's been ebbing and flowing. Hasn't really been cracking down below this level. So I get in somewhere here. Let's just let it play. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's starting to go. I'm long, 2 lots, same thing, NQ. I set my stop right there at $80. I'm basically saying if you come down kind of below where it's been here, just, hey, I'll eat the $80. So be it. I'm not going to win every trade, but if, we keep our losses small and let some of our winners run like that last one, it adds up over time. So we get a fortunate pop here. You just see it take off. So I'm immediately moving my stop up. Same as the last video, guys. Same exact strategy, if you want to call it that. I'm locking in a small bit of profit, and now I'm moving quickly. It seems pretty jittery, so I'm not necessarily giving it as much leeway as the last one because I could easily just see this turning and spiking on me. So I'm managing my stop. I mean, honestly, same story. You're going to see me quickly pop it up as the price is moving. I'm like, let's get it, let's get it. So right here, I'm going to pause this for a second. So at this point, we have 210 locked in. We're on a nice little bit of a run. I'm contemplating moving my stop, but you see how much it's traveling. I know if I move it here, I'm getting knocked out for sure. So I'm willing to kind of, we're good for 200 bucks, and it's been a minute. So more than happy with kind of the outcome of this trade. So you're going to see when I unpause it here in a second, this just flies down and takes it out. And that's just how NQ is sometimes. It's very sporadic. So So I'll unpause this here and you'll see the price just tank down. But hey, I wanted to pause this just to kind of show where the level is. So let's do that. And you're going to see it spike down here and just wham, just takes it out. So could I have gotten a few more ticks out of it? Sure, but same as last trade. This trade and the last trade are very similar in kind of concept how it worked. Had a reason for entry, set a relatively tight stop loss, about 10 ticks, 8 ticks in this one, I think it was. As soon as it starts moving in my direction, I am locking that in, because if it turns and spikes against me, just knock me out. Move on to the next trade, no big deal. I'd rather just break even or take a very small loss or a small win than have it do one of those completely erratic, 180s and just spike, way down against me. So okay guys, so hopefully those trades, there was something of value in there for you guys. If anything, it just kind of explains kind of my thought process on some of those trades that you see me make. Are they super refined strategies that I think work all the time? No, I'm always trying to learn and grow and do a bit better. But you know what, for now, that's kind of what's working for me. So okay guys, so hopefully me explaining those trades gives you some insight. Maybe you can take something from it. Maybe you think this guy's a bozo. Whatever the case might be, that's how I'm managing my trades, and it's worked out, I would say, fairly okay for me the last several months. So I'm always looking to grow though. I'm always looking at different strategies. I sometimes try out different products. That's where the test environment works out well. I'm able to do so, see if I like them, see if I don't. And going forward, I'll continue trying to record some of my trades in the different trader evaluations, and then as well as I get time or opportunity, I'll try to do more videos like this and maybe capture some other strategies that I use. NQ is pretty straightforward. There's really not much more to it than what I showed you. I'm trying to jump on momentum. I'm using relatively tight stops. When we get a nice spike, I'm following it and trying to lock in as much profit as I can. Bonds, I actually would say I have a few more actual setups. The ones in the videos kind of showed you a few of them, but I think there's a few more there that could be shown. It's just market conditions didn't allow me to record those the last day or so. So I will have more of these. Maybe I try to once a week or something. We'll see. But I'll leave you with that because this video is plenty long. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.